Hey everybody, it's Melissa. This is the how-to on the card I did on my previous video, the gift card holder. So, what you'll need is a 12 by 12 sheet of paper cut in half horizontally. So that would make it 6 by 12. And the first thing you're going to do is score at 4 inches and flip it over and score at 8 inches. Now make sure when you score, if there's any writing on your card base, that it's facing up the right way, and the back of the card does have some writing on it. So the reason you score on the front, this is going to be the front of the card, this pattern, is because you want to fold on the bump. Here's the bump. That'll keep your paper from tearing most times or cracking. So there's my card base. Now the next thing you're going to do is punch the holes for the inside. If you want holes, you don't have to. At this point you can just do anything with it. I want my hole down further than a hole punch will fit, so I'm using my Fisker shape cutter. I have several different kinds of circle cutters. I'm obsessed with them, but I'm just going to use this one because it has got the correct I folded that wrong. It's got the correct size on it. I wanted a 2-inch circle, and it's just right here handy. So I always use a glass mat. I'm going to come down about a ½ inch from the top of the card, and there are grid lines on this particular cutter. So about a ½ inch from the top, and get it roughly in the center of the center panel of the card, between the two score lines, and then just cut. And I use a glass mat because it saves on your blades and the cut is a lot smoother. Save this circle. You may need it, you may not. It'll be your choice later what you want to do with it. The next thing we're going to do is make the slot for the gift card. Excuse me. I have this card that I use that's the same size as the gift card, roughly, and I just keep it around just for things like this. So I want the top of my gift card to peek out, and the way to do that is make sure that you have a stopper of some kind at the bottom here. Well, I'm going to use 1/2 inch tacky tape for mine, and I get my tacky tape from Confessions of a Ribbon Addict. Her name is Jody Morrow, and you can get it in 10 or I think it's 27-yard rolls, and it comes 1/2, 1/4, and 1/8, and this is it is acid free. So eventually I'm going to put tacky tape at the bottom, so that's going to take up a 1/2 inch. That means my card will stop at a 1/2 inch, so I'm putting my card a 1/2 inch from the bottom, and then I'm just going to make a little mark with a pencil about a 1/2 inch down from the top of the card. About right there is good. So that's how much is eventually going to stick out once you get it in the slot. I'm going to use my T-square and just make a line coming 1/4 inch in from the fold, and make the slit and stop at 1/4 inch from the second fold. Hope that makes sense. Now you're going to need to punch 2 holes, and the reason you punch a hole like this at the end of your little marking, sorry about shaking the camera, is so that when you put your card in or take it out, it's not going to tear the ends of your slit, and it also looks nice. I'm going to take a steel edge ruler, Tim Holtz ruler, and cut a slot. I'm going to make one cut right above the pencil line that I just drew. And then I'm going to turn the card and make another slice right below the pencil line. And this also allows the card to slide in and out without any chance of tearing your card. So that's what you come up with. Now we're going to adhere this back flap to the back of the card, and that's what's going to make your pocket. I'm going to run red line tape along the bottom and then up above 1/4 of an inch from the slot, and then on either side and the tippy top, and I'll come back when I'm done with that. Be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back, and this is my tape placement, and the reason you want the tape at the top of the slit and on the sides, not just the top and bottom, is because excuse me, if you didn't do it that way, then you would have all this space. Your card would kind of be just sticking up. So I'm going to remove the tape and come back. You don't need to watch me remove tape, it's boring, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back, and my tape protective layers or whatever is off now. So now we're going to fold this back panel over, and I folded the crease to make sure that I get it straight. And essentially that's the card base. There's the slot. And right here you can do it any of, just, it's endless how many ways you can do this. With this particular card, this is going to be a graduation card. So I am going to find a sentiment that says congratulations and stamp it on a circle, probably a white circle, or maybe even a clear circle, and put it in the center right there. Now the next thing we need to do is make our slots for the ribbon, and I just use a slot punch. You can do this with an X-Acto knife, though. It doesn't have to be a slot punch. So let's see, I'm going to take my 3/8, Making Memories slot punch, and put it roughly in the center of the card. And since the card is 6 inches, that would be at 3. And I'm going to use the measurements on this little punching mat for my guide, and just put it right there. And I'm going to do this off camera because it is very loud and it's going to shake the camera if I do it on camera. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back, and here are my little slots. You can do this with an X-Acto knife. I like to use the slot punch, it's easier. And I'm going to use Hug Snug seam binding. I got this on Amazon about 7 months ago, and I barely put a dent in it. There's 100 yards on it. So just cut you a long streamer. That would be enough to tie into a bow. And you can also use any kind of pretty ribbon for this. I just like the seam binding, and it's handy. And I get the black and the white seam binding. That way, with the white, I can just dye it whatever color I want. I don't have to worry about buying different colors. So I'm just making kind of a slip knot. tight. So there's one side, and you would do the exact same side to the other, the same thing to the other slot, and then proceed to decorate. Now on this one, since this one is going in the mail, I'm not going to put anything very dimensional on it. But choices are, I have one here that's a birthday one that I'm not quite finished with yet. But I just put a couple of layers of paper flowers, stack those together, and put a big black bling in the center of it. And then put happy birthday pennants. And it can just be adapted to anything. And then of course this is the original card. And on the inside of this one I did a couple of layers on that circle area, which I'm not going to do on this one that's going in the mail. But anyway, that's how to make the card, and wasn't it just so easy? And if you have any questions, just ask, and Lety, this is for you. So I hope I made it seem easy, and if I didn't, let me know what I've left out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great week. Bye.